to the Autism Notebook professional video series. We're very fortunate to have with us today Robert Naseef. Robert is a dad and he's a psychologist, and he has an organization called Alternative Choices where he works with families of parents that are of special needs populations. Robert, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I just wanted to talk a little bit today about, maybe tell us a little about why you got involved, not only as being a dad, but involved in some of the presentations that you do and the book writing.
Well, you know, when my son was young, there was very little that spoke to what it was like to be a parent of a child with autism. And somewhat I got involved because I guess I wanted to do something about it. And I was searching for myself, for meaning in this, for ways to cope. And that's kind of what started me out. I mean, I couldn't get the word autism out of my mouth for a long time. It was just stuck in my throat. And it's still the experience that a lot of parents have, even though it's a more common diagnosis today.
Right. And as a dad, what do you find most common when you work with dads?
Well, most common with dads is really a difficulty talking about their experience, being able to kind of wrap their minds around something that they can't fix, that they don't have words to. So I try to help fathers learn to talk about their experience. And it's important to not give up, not think that a relationship is impossible with their child, especially since 80% of the kids with autism are boys, and that's a particular challenge to dads who are often at a loss as to how to interact with their sons.
Now, I had heard you speak, I don't know if it was last year or a couple years ago, where you kind of discredited a statistic that I always hear out there about divorce rates.
Oh, absolutely.
So can you just say a little bit about the divorce rate from autism versus general population?
Right, there's been a myth for years, and it's still widely believed, that the divorce rate in the autism community is 80%. In the last 5 or 6 years, we've had 3 fairly large studies, all of which discredited that notion. There was never any scientific evidence that there was an 80% divorce rate, but now 3 studies tell us that it's roughly the same as the national average. That being said, the stresses that families go through when they have a kid with autism are enormous. So that's why it's believable that the divorce rate's higher, but actually, oftentimes people come together and they're stronger as a result. They love their child passionately, they love each other, and not that any of this is easy, not for 1 second. But our families aren't falling apart. And I guess the part that really used to always get to me about that is that if the divorce rate's 80%, it sounds like there's a lot of deadbeat dads, a lot of dads walking out on their families. And that just isn't true. And so that needs to be discredited even more widely.
When you work with a family, if you could name just one thing that they really hope that they can glean from whatever you have to offer them, what would you say that is?
Oh, that's easy. When I work with a family, I want to help them know that they can have a fulfilling relationship with their child despite the limitations that autism may impose. I want to help them find the things that help them enjoy each other. I want to help them find the love that they've always had and be able to feel that every day. Acceptance isn't about giving up, and it's not about making peace. It's more about finding peace within the life they have. And that's what I help them do. Learn to enjoy their kid again if they stopped enjoying their kid.
Great. And you're also an author.
That's right.
So
That's
share
right.
a little bit about your book.
My new book, Autism in the Family, Caring and Coping Together, is published by Brooks. And it covers the lifespan of a child with autism and of the family, from diagnosis through early childhood, elementary school, adolescence, and adulthood. It's interspersed in that are stories from my own life, stories from the families I counsel and people I talk to around the country, resources. It's a pretty comprehensive guide, and it really gives the big picture of autism. I think because autism is evidenced by behavior, sometimes we focus too much on behavior and lose track of the bigger picture of family life, and that's what I tried to do in this book. And very happy about how it turned out, and I'd
And
love
how
for
can
people.
somebody get that book?
They can get it on Amazon. They can get it from Brooks Publishing, and they can order it from local bookstores.
Okay, great. And do you have any other projects going on? I know you're a busy man.
Well, my next book's going to focus on fathers, but in the meantime, I'm doing a monthly webinar at autismbrainstorm.org, which is a discussion by fathers and male professionals about raising kids with autism. And that's one Sunday evening a month. And those discussions are archived at YouTube.
Okay.
So if someone put Autism Brainstorm into YouTube, they would come up with that channel. Or if they put Guy Talk, Autism Brainstorm, that's the name of our panel, they'd be able to see those recordings. And there's really a lot of interesting, good, and passionate discussion by fathers there.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we want to thank you so much for taking your time to sit with us and answer some questions, and for all that you do for the autism community.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it as well.
Great.